Wow, okay, so Funky and Rich are going to cook a bit of dinner. I'm going to make up a dessert. Okay, what I'm going to be doing then is making a peach cobbler, and same as we did the scones, so self-raising flour. Then we're going to put half a pack of butter, sugar, a couple of eggs. That's your basic mix. I'm using carbonated water, so I'm going to use a can of lemonade, and that's your basic mix. Then I'm going to put the peach halves into it. So I've literally taken a mug in the dredger, just like I did before. I'm going to put some air in it, so I'm going to have 2 of these. So that's 2 cups of self-raising flour put through the dredge. What I've got here is a packet of butter. I'm going to put half a packet of butter in there, maybe just a little bit more. Drop of sugar, you know, so I've got a good sort of, maybe, I don't know, half a dozen dessert spoons of sugar in there. That's going to go in. I'm going to work that through my hands, just to the heat of your hands will kind of melt the butter pretty quickly, you know, just kind of rubbing it, breaking it all down, mixing it in with the sugar. We're going to have a couple of eggs, then we're going to put our carbonated water or lemonade or whatever in, and that's going to be our kind of basic base for this peach cobbler that we're going to make. And then of course we're going to put it in a camp oven, do it on the embers just like we did the scones last time. And a good trick is to sort of, you know, rub it between your hands, get it nice and fine, but get that down to a nice mix, and then I'll bring you back. Right, so I've got that down to quite a fine kind of mix. I've just put in the butter and the sugar. Next thing I'm going to do is put a couple of eggs in. There we go, 2 eggs. Same again, we've just mixed that in until it's, you know, I mean, I've got a bowl of water, bowl of soapy water here that I'm constantly kind of washing my hands in. I've taken my jewellery and my watch off, you know. Camp hygiene is really important when you're kind of cooking, but the best way really is to just get in there with your hands, and you get a really kind of good mix. You know, so the next thing I'm going to do is put in a bit of fluid. I'm just going to use a can of lemonade. The thing about these little cans, of course, is you can put them in your larder and they pretty much keep forever. You know, these cans are good for 12 months or so. So same again, just folding it in with your hands. You know, I've put half in at a time, so that first half went in, that was soaked up pretty quickly. Let's put the other half in. Don't be frightened to sort of top that up with a little bit of water if the mix isn't, you know, kind of just right. If it's too wet, of course, you just put a little bit more self-raising flour in. But you can see how it's going. Right, so I'm going to mix that up to a sort of bread-like dough, and then I'll bring you back. Right, so as you can see there, it's getting down into a kind of bread mix, really. I've put the can of lemonade in, and I've just had to put a little bit more fluid in, just a wince. I mean, try not to make it too wet, you know, because otherwise you end up with this sort of runny, stodgy kind of dough, and that's not going to make you anything really. Okay, and I'm going to work that, like I say, until it turns into a little bit more of a kind of dough, a little bit more of a bread, really. So I've been just put this on the ground to kind of work the dough, so I needed something to push against. But very simply, that's what our base is going to look like. That's what's going to go in the camp oven. So what I'm going to do now is put some flour just in the bottom of the camp oven to stop it sticking, and then I'm going to put the peach slices on the top, and that's going to be our dessert. So I'll bring you back when I'm ready to do that. So this is my camp oven. I've just hung it over a tripod over the fire just to sort of warm it up. Putting a little bit of flour in the bottom. That's just gonna help our cobbler not to stick. Now what I'm going to do is put our bread, put our dough in the camp oven. So hope you can see that. And next thing to go in, I've got a couple of just peach halves, but they're going on the top. What I've done is I've also drained the juice out of them, to be quite honest. You don't want it too wet. But there's a couple of cans of kind of peach halves that have gone in. Right, and that is the basis of our peach cobbler. Okay, so what I've done is I've just taken the embers out of the bottom of the wood burner. 4 logs, put them on the ground, filled the space up with embers out of the fire, a few on the top. We're looking at about 25 minutes, I reckon, for that peach cobbler. And back into the fire pit with a bit more kindling. Let's get the fire pit going, we can get the kettle back on top of that. The boys can be cooking dinner while dessert is
okay,
done.
so the obvious. Finished with my kind of food prep, just cleaning this area surface down. You know, let's get cleaned up and stashed away while the cobbler's cooking. There's no sense in finishing the cooking, then sit down, eat your food, and then you've got all that kind of clearing up afterwards. Try and clear as you go. Keep your camp clean, just good camp routine. So Lone Wolf, Rich is doing a dinner this evening. We've got a nice bit of steak, baked beans, going to have a couple of eggs. I think that's going to be dinner. And then we're going to have the old peach cobbler with cream for after. But mate, how much would you pay for this in a restaurant?
No problem.
That's not looking too bad, is it? Another 10 minutes and that'll be done. So peach cobbler, people, it's been on about 25-35 minutes. So just this kind of scone mix that we talked about earlier, a couple of tins of peaches on the top, and what you can see there is kind of all the juice. And that's almost okay. This is a double cream, just thinned it out with a little bit of drop of milk. But I think no one's really going to be too disappointed with that. A bit of double cream. Right, and as Mr. Wiseman would say, yummy.